White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. Sons of London stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hi and welcome everyone to THFCTILLDIE, home of Tottenham past, present and the exciting future under Ange Postecoglou, and how are we all this evening? Just let me sort this out. Yeah, I've done something new and I'm just still getting used to it. There we go, that's better. And how are we all? We've got a big game tomorrow because we're back in European competition against AZ Alkmaar of the Netherlands. Of course, the return of the Parrot, the return of Troy Parrott coming back to face his former club, and also playing very well out there in Holland, but cannot do it for Ireland for some reason. I do not know why, but it's good. I'm glad he's doing well, and I'm glad he's finding his feet. He really wasn't going to make it at Tottenham, so he's doing well out there. So fair play to him. But tomorrow is an important game. Can we make it 3 wins out of 3? And I've got all the information for you guys, to kick-off times, to predicted lineup as well, who I think Ange will pick tomorrow night. To a little bit of stats, it's Ben Davidson's Sonny's 60th European game for Tottenham tomorrow. We know Sonny isn't playing. We know he's out, but I think Wilson and Richie in the squad as well, for what I've known. But I've rarely picked a really different team. I've rested a lot of players in mind with Crystal Palace away on Sunday. So we're going to all go through that as well, guys. So let's see who's in the chat as well. Just very quickly, guys, if you can do us a favor, of course, this channel and this show, of course, it's sponsored by private access internet via a best VPN around. For 43 private internet access, that's better. Get the name of the company right, Hermit. Private internet access, €43 for 2 years, and you get 4 months free, guys. That's €43. It's as cheap as paying, I don't know, 6 months worth of Xbox Live, or paying Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. So please do. It does give you good internet access. What I'll do is I play the video as well to go through it as well, guys, at the very beginning. And just to give you a little bit of information about it. Of course, it is private internet access, the proud channel sponsor of THFC Till I Die. And as you know, guys, if you're on your internet without a VPN, it can be hacked. Also goes to the government and corporate people as well. But once you use private internet access, it is locked just between you and your internet. They cannot gain access to it at all. You can use it on your mobile, guys. There's no problems with that. You just log in with your details, switch it on, and you can pick to wherever you want in the world if you're watching Spurs. Also, guys, you can also use it on your laptop as well, guys. You can use it on all these different devices as well. You can also use it for your banking. It's really safe as well, using all phone devices. It is as safe as the Bank of Ireland. It really is like Fort Knox. You can use it on all devices from your TV to your Xbox, your PlayStation, and everywhere. But this is the kicker. If one person gets it, the rest of your family can use it. Doesn't cost them an extra penny. You can use it around the world, everywhere from Australia to Australia. Your IP address is keeping private as well, and they shred every bit of your digital footprint as well. They have 30 million subscribers as well to private internet access, 4.5 stars on Trustpilot as well. Private internet access, the proud sponsors of THFC Till I Die. Please do €43 for 2 years. And then, of course, you will get 4 months free on top of that as well. The links at the top of the chat, also the links in the description. Again, if you can, it helps us. It helps us to help them, basically. And it really does. I mean, you sign up to that, they give us a little something out of it, and it keeps them wanting to sponsor this channel, which is a big thing for us. But let's see who's in the chat tonight. Big up to DJ Samuel, of course, a member as well. He says, let's get ready to rumble. Of course, the famous word for every boxing match. And tomorrow we'll be rumbling. We'll be getting ready to rumble at White Hart Lane as we see the return of the Parrot. Wayne Bonner, good evening, everyone. Hope you are well. Yeah, I'm fine. Tired, but I'm okay. What time is kickoff tomorrow? All the information for you, Wayne, is coming up in a minute. We've got Dr. Fell with a question mark. Welcome anyway. Welcome. And welcome to the channel. Do please hit that subscription button and hit that notification bell for future shows. And look back at past shows we've done as well. You're very much welcome, family. And pick up a membership as well while you're there. Because if you do, you get to come on the post-match show lives after every game. You get to come on. So tomorrow night, you will get to come on. Tomorrow night's game, we're going to run post-match live. Only channel members can come on, guys. So it's down to you. If you want to come on, have you say about the game, you're more than welcome. And big up to DJ, says the VPN, one of the best in the business. It is. Private internet access is the best in the business, guys. And, you know, and we're very grateful for them choosing us, a little channel like us, to become our channel sponsor. So we're extremely, extremely grateful. Firstly, before we get going, I want to thank everyone. I mean, Sunday stream has just gone more than my wider streams, how well it's gone out and how well it's been received. And we've gained a lot of new subscribers as well. So to every one of you that have just joined, welcome. Thank you. It means a hell of a lot to us. We're on the march to 2K. Of course, it's just not me here at the channel. There's Tequila, who's not well. He's got COVID as well. Boris, who's busy tonight, but he's back tomorrow night with me. And Colin is just so busy at work at the moment. Bless him. He is flat out. But it's a combined effort, and we all do our bit. We all do our little bit in the channel. But thank you so much. It means so much to all of us. Well, I tell you what we're going to do start, guys. We're going to start with my predicted lineup. So let me take the subs thing down. And that is my predicted lineup for tomorrow, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. I've gone with Vicario in goal. Then I've gone for a back four of Archie Gray, Rudu, Ben Davis, and Destiny as a back four. I've gone with Bentancur sitting in front of just sitting in that holding role in the 6th role. I've gone for Papasar on Birdville in that midfield, and then gone for a front three of Timo Werner, Richie, and more. That's who I've gone for. So let me know, guys, what do you think of that lineup? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat as well. Do you agree with that, actually? Do you agree with that lineup? I hope you do. I think a lot of players have to be rested for tomorrow night with Crystal Palace away on Sunday, and also the League Cup game against Manchester City the following Wednesday. I know Pep says he's going to play kids, and it's a game we probably should win. But I think it's a chance for these players to spread their wings, to give them a bit of game time and prove to them that, we're worth a spot. We want a spot in the first team. Not everyone is guaranteed a spot. And I think this is a chance tomorrow night for the likes of Archie Gray, for the likes of Rudu, for the likes of Bergville as well, and for the likes of Richie as well. Look, I think Moore will get his chances this season, but I think these are the games where he will get his chance. He may get a chance in the League Cup. I'd be very surprised if Brendan Johnson deserves a rest, and there's been a few calls for Johnson to play. But I think he needs to be rested, and I think Solanke needs to be rested as well. I think Basuma needs to be rested. I think Van der Ven and Romero definitely need to be rested. Porro needs to be rested as well. But putting Ben Davies either in putting Ben Davies as a centre back or as a full back, I think, I don't know where you're going to play Ben Davies. This is his last year at the club anyway, so I think he'll be leaving at the end of the season. So I'm a little bit wary of him playing, but who else do you play in that centre back? You want to rest Van der Ven and you want to rest Romero, so you got to play him. But let me know, guys, what you think in the chat. And thank you so much indeed, DJ. You're a diamond. Yeah, no, I sort of gathered that. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, we had that troll back again in Dave's chat last night. That was trolling me. And he's back now. So, yeah, we will deal with that. If he comes in, just ban him. If you want to, if as well, DJ, you are a mod. So I'm big up to Top Man as well. Evening, don't you think VDM would play since he did the Brent's conference? Look, he may do. This is only a predicted lineup. This is only like what I think the team should be tomorrow. Now, Van der Ven may well play with Rudu and put Ben Davies on the wing, on the fullback instead of Destiny. He may well do that. But if I was Ange, I'd be resting Romero and Van der Ven, especially with the game on Sunday as well coming up. And the game against Man City next Wednesday is an important couple of weeks coming up for Spurs. So I think a game against the first time we've ever played ASL Alkmaar, look, is a game we should win. I can't see them causing us any problems. I mean, the Dutch league is probably as good as the League of Ireland. Probably next stage up from the League of Ireland, but it's not the greatest league in the world, to be fair. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. And so teams like this coming to our patch we should be rolling them over quite comfortably. And with this 11 here, if this is the 11, then this 11 should be rolling them over. No questions asked, no problems. If we don't win well tomorrow night, or we just scrape a 1-0 win, then questions will have to be asked about the backup players. And have we got the squad to go for all these trophies? And these are the games that these players are bought in for. These are the players, these are the games and the times they have to make a mark. They have to say, right, I want that spot. That spot it's got to be mine. So it's a chance for them to make a mark for the rest of the season, guys. But that is the predicted lineup. So I'll let you have a little think on that. So I'll take that out and then I will take that away. Look, I'll give you some information as well, guys. Of course, it's the Europa League phase home fixture, a good League Game 3 against AC Alkmaar at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow on Thursday, 24th. It's at 8 o'clock kickoff. Wayne, it is live. I should tell you now. It is actually live on UK and Ireland and TNT Sports and Discovery Plus as well, guys, which is absolutely fantastic. If you can't afford TNT or Sky, it is live on Discovery Plus. I think Amazon has shown some Premier League games as well, so which is really brilliant for the people that can't afford Sky. In Canada, of course, it'd be always on Fubo TV. I don't know what it's on in the US. I think it could be on NBC Sports, and I don't know what it is on in Australia. But guys, I will give you the links of that. tomorrow once I find out. This is AZ's last 5 games. Of course, they have not played well. Of course, they beat Isenberg in the last round of the Europa League 3-2, Parrot with 1. Then they lost 2-1 in the league. They lost in the opening Europa League in Atletico Bilbao 2-0 as well. They lost 1-0 in the league as well. So only 1 win out of the last 5 games. So this tomorrow should be a game for us. I just want a solid, as Topsy Top Man says, and big up to you, Tipsy. Is it Tipsy? Yeah, this Tipsy Top Man. I'm just hoping for a solid and comfortable game from our Sunlight B side. Hopefully we don't need to bring the... And that's the thing. This is what a squad is all about. This is why you build a squad, so you can rest your big game players for these games. And no disrespect to AZ and no disrespect to who we played in the first 3 games of this Europa League. There were 3 games we should win. And we showed an awful lot of respect in our first game to the team we played 2 weeks ago. Far too much respect. Tomorrow, we need to go in with the killer instinct. Go 2-3, 4-0 up. And yeah, we had a great result for Celtic tonight. Absolutely over the moon with that. And Harry Kane, lo and behold, Harry Kane has just scored versus Barcelona, by the way. Well done for Harry. Harry's finding these golden boots, of course, in Germany. Now, Tottenham's last 5 games now have got their results in Europe as well, guys. This is only their last 5 Premier League games. Of course, it is a win against West Ham, of course, 4-1. We did have that defeat against Brighton, but it's three wins out of our last 5 games in the Premier League alone, plus the 2 wins in Europe. So we've won 6 out of our last 7 games, guys. So we're on a good bit of a run. We really are. And I'm really pleased for that, because it's proven a lot of people wrong that Ange can manage. And even on Sunday against West Ham, when he see it wasn't happening in midfield, he made that change. He made the decisive decision. And people are saying Ange can't manage and makes his substitutions too late. Well, he didn't make it too late on Saturday. Half time, you saw him to Papa Sarr, right, you warm up on now. And will that spur Maddison on for better performances going forward? Possibly it will do. But I do know, for me with Maddison, right, and this is just me on point of view on this, and I'll take a stand. I'll go back to this in a minute. James Maddison, for me, has a chance to resurrect his England career. He's got a World Cup coming up in 2026, and he's got a golden carrot in front of him to prove to Thomas Tuchel, I am the man for you. I am the man to give you and give England the chances to score goals. And he hasn't done it at Tottenham. His consistency is very hot and cold. And I think Ange is sending out a message that no player is guaranteed a place. And that's what it should be. No team, no player should feel comfortable in saying, right, that's my spot. I'm not going to get dropped. And that's been the problem with too many players in the past at Tottenham. They got too comfortable and they're thinking, I'm never going to drop. And managers have their favourites. Of course they do. Every manager on every team have their players to sort of give a sort of a favouritism to. And for me, I think he's doing right. And I want to say a big up to Wilton. Wilton, how are you? Firstly, did you, well, looks like you have survived the hurricane that hit Florida. I don't know if you did go anywhere near you, sir. So, look, I'm glad you're in it. I haven't seen you for a while. I was a bit worried, but glad to see you're all right, sir. Let us know, did it go anywhere near my, did it get anywhere near you? But if so, I'm glad you're safe. And I'm glad you are okay. Hi, Dermot. I think the US game will be on Paramount Plus. Thank you so much, Wilton. So if you are in the US, guys, and you are watching this, you can watch the game on Paramount Plus. Big up, Wilton, a legend of the sport. It really is. Let's go back to Tottenham, right? So last 3 games. Now, this is Spurs, first 2 Europa League games. We won 3-0 at home to Qarabag, 3-0 at home. We give them a bit too much respect as well, by the way, and made a little bit of heavy work of that. Then we beat Verve across in over there in place. Again, made heavy work of that. Now we've got AZ. We need to win convincingly tomorrow, because if you look at our next 3 games, we're away at Galatasaray, we're at home to Roma, and then in December, we're away to Rangers. Now, that is a game I want Tottenham not just to win, I want them to humiliate them. A, because I'm a Celtic fan, and B, I just want Rangers to lose every time they play. So for me, that is the big game for me. The Rangers, away to Rangers, for me, is a game I really want them to go on there and bash them one. But look, Galatasaray away in Turkey is not going to be an easy game. That is going to be it's going to be a very volatile atmosphere in Turkey. Galatasaray fans are not known for their warm welcome. They don't welcome you with open arms. I remember as a kid watching Man United go out there back in the, I think, middle 90s, when they played a few European, I think, was it the Champions League then or the European Cup? I can't remember. I think it might have been they played one European Cup game out there and then it became the Champions League. Yeah, they got very hostile fans over there. And I remember, yeah, exactly, DJ. And he makes a very good point, DJ, saying so to even Tottenham fan going to Turkey, stay safe. I remember two Leeds fan did sadly lose their lives while they were in Turkey. So if you are going out to that game, guys, do be careful. After the news, what's been in the news today as well, keep an eye out. Stay in groups, don't wander off on your own, and also just look after yourselves out there, because it is a hostile environment. It's a hostile league. I mean, you see some of the stuff them Turkish fans get up to when a Galatasaray playing Fenerbahce. Jesus, it makes Rangers Celtic look like schoolboy stuff. It's mental over there. And big up to Wilton, says, I was in Jamaica when it hit Florida, but I was on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast. And then, thank God for that. Well, I was worried about you, Wilton, to be fair. So I'm glad you're okay. I said the other day, I think it was Sunday, I was asking to say if anyone had seen you in the chats or anywhere. But look, I'm glad. Did you have a nice time in Jamaica? Let us know. Did you enjoy your holiday? Jamaica's one place I'd love to go to, actually. Love to go to Jamaica one day. And then, of course, this was Ange today in the press conference about Sonny. Sonny, of course, won't be playing tomorrow. Ange Postecoglou has confirmed Son will not feature in Thursday night's Europa League clash against NZ Alkmaar. Speaking in his pre-match press conference on Wednesday afternoon, Ange revealed that the skipper had been left a bit sore after Saturday's 4-1 win over West Ham, and having just returned from injury, Sonny missed 3 matches with a hamstring issue, but returned in style, capping his display with a superb strike for our 4th goal. However, our head coach has also confirmed that it was planned for the forward to miss the clash with the Dutch side. Ange said Sonny was a bit sore after the weekend, but he was never going to be involved anyway. We will leave him out and we will see how he is from there. Both Wilson, Odegaard and Richarlison are back in training and will be both available for selection for the Europa League clash, which is absolutely great news for us to have Wilson, Odegaard back as well, and Richie back as well. Gives us so much of a different options coming off the bench now. And it is great to see. And maybe Werner now, and I did pick Werner in my predicted lineup, thinking he wouldn't start Odegaard because he's coming back from injury. But will he start with Odegaard now instead of Werner and bring Werner on? Look, I think Werner's just lack of confidence for me. I mean, once he gets a couple of goals, guys, I think he will get going. But he has to prove. I mean, at the end of this year, he goes back to his German club side, and then a lot of fans don't want him at Tottenham. I'm on the fence with him at the moment, with Werner. But I think Oderbart's an absolute, genuine, great talent, and really is a great talent. So, guys, let me know in the comments, what would you do? Let me know in the comments as well, guys. Would you start Oderbart or would you start Werner? I would love to know, guys. This is our last 2 Europa League ties. Of course, we're away to Hoffenheim in the new year. On the 23rd of January, and then on the 30th of January, we'll finish our last league game against Elfsberg. And I feel if we win tomorrow night, and we win well, I think we're more or less cracked it to qualify in the top 8. I really do. I think we can pick up a point. I mean, you look at the games. We've got these 2 games, which I think are easy games. The last one's an easy one for Spurs. Away in Germany, it's a game we should win. But if you look at the Galatasaray game, if we can get a point out of that, for me, would be a great result, a draw there. So that's a point there. Roma, we can beat anyone, any team at home, because we're, we can beat anyone at home. We are at home. So the fans will get behind us. We've beaten Roma before at our place as well. Away at Rangers, look, it's a derby, isn't it? Really, it's an England-Scotland game. It's a battle of Britain. You can really say in some ways as well. But it's a game I think we should win as well. We should come away with over 3 points. That's just my opinion. But let me know, guys. So I'm going for 3. I'm going for 3. 7. I'm going for 7. 8. I'm going for 11 points out of these next 5 games. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. Let me know what you think too, because this is the league at the moment. Of course, Tottenham are third with 2 games played, 2 wins, 5 goals scored, 1 against. We've got a goal difference of +4 on 6 points. We're 2 points clear of Ajax. We're on the same points of Anderlecht, of course. We've got the Romanian side. We've got Lyon and Lazio on the top of that with a better goal difference, of course, than us. So, look, I think a win tomorrow night sort of guarantees, sort of lays foundations for us to qualify in the top 8. And I think it puts a bit of daylight between us and Ajax. If Ajax don't get a result tomorrow night, then it does put a bit of daylight between us and 6th place, which I think is very, very important. Of course, Tottenham Hotspur European appearances tomorrow night. I think, Sonny won't be making his 60th appearance tomorrow night, but Ben Davies will. He'll be making his 60th appearance in all European competitions for Tottenham tomorrow night. A bit of a milestone for the Welsh legend. Also, Sonny, 24 goals in 59 appearances for Tottenham in all European appearances, which is quite a good strike rate, really, in a way. And it proves how vital Sonny's been for us over the years. He really has been vital, guys. So, but big up to Ben Davies. And I think he deserves that tomorrow night. 60 appearances is not a main thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not an easy thing to get to. I mean, I couldn't believe it the other night. I was looking at appearances of players in the past. Pat Jennings only made, I think it was 30 appearances in Europe for Tottenham. Players that Gary Lineker only made 2 appearances for us in Europe, and they were Japs when we qualified for the Cup Winners' Cup, because we were banned from England. Clubs were banned from Europe for 5 years after Heysel in 1985, or 6 years. So there's been some big players that have never played for Tottenham in Europe. I found also a stat the other night, which I was absolutely bowled over by. Glenn Hoddle, right, our greatest player, one of the greatest players to ever pull on the Spurs shirt, only scored 1 goal for Tottenham in Europe in his whole Tottenham career. I couldn't believe that. 1 goal. In all the years he played in Europe for Spurs, he only scored 1 goal in Europe. Ozzy Ardiles only scored 2 goals. Nearly made it 3 in the UEFA Cup final in '84. And that come back off the crossbar for Graham Roberts to put it in to equalise against Anderlecht. But it's absolutely amazing. And this causes our complete record in Europe from 1961 to this year, 2025. We've played 129 home games. We've won 94 of them. We've drawn 20. We've lost 15. We've got an 80.62% win record at home in Europe. Away, we've got a 50% win. Played 148, lost 46. So we've got a 50% record. Neutral ground on finals. We've played in 3 finals, of course. 1, 2, and let's get this right. 63 and 71. And then we lost in the UEFA Cup final. And then so we've played 2. We've actually played 4. That's actually slightly out of wrong, but that's wrong. We've won 2 and lost 2. And so we've got a 50% record in the finals as well. But in total, we've won 200. We've played 261 matches, won 144 of them, drawn 55. We've lost 62. We've got a 65.7.1% win rate in Europe, guys. And today's also a very sad day in Tottenham Hotspur history as well. I was going to mention it, and big up to DJ, and I hope the club do something tomorrow night, because it is the 20th anniversary of the passing of our greatest ever manager, to Bill Nicholson. How that man was never knighted is beyond me. Absolutely, it's beyond me. That man should have been knighted, and it's a disgrace there isn't a statue of that man outside the stadium. I mean, it really boils my blood that the likes of Man United have a statue of Sir Matt Busby and Sir Alex Ferguson outside Old Trafford. Liverpool have the Shankly Gates and a statue of Bob Paisley. Do you know, every other club can put statues up of their legendary players or managers, and we at Tottenham cannot be bothered to do that. And with this rumours of takeover and Amanda Staveley looking to buy Tottenham, looking to get in, either it's going to be a full takeover or whatever, I want her to do one thing. I want her to call one of the stands after Bill Nicholson, and I want a statue outside of Bill Nicholson as well. There should be Man United have Best, Law and Charlton. Well, there should be one out there with Blanche Flower, Jimmy Greaves, and Danny and Dave Mackay, or something like that. There should be a stand called after Glenn Hoddle. I mean, I think the 4 stands, the South stand should be the Sir Bill Nicholson stand. The East stand should be the Arthur Rose stand. The West stand should be the Glenn Hoddle stand. And the North stand should be the Steve Perryman stand. Because if you look, they're all our most successful players. And there should be a statue of Sir Bill Nicholson. And how that man was never knighted, it's beyond me, because in his time of managing the club, he was managing against probably the greatest managers the British game has ever seen. He was up against the likes of Matt Busby and Bill Shankly. Now, of course, Matt Busby was knighted for his services to football. Bill Shankly wasn't. He should have been. And Bill Nick should have been. And then you had the likes who was up against Brian Clough and people like this that will... They're legendary managers of the past. They're what make football what it is today. And Bill Nicholson is what Tottenham is today because of Bill Nick. He laid the foundations for what Tottenham were to build on. Now, a few people have tried to dismantle them foundations and made a damn good job of breaking them. But it's ridiculous that a few years ago we didn't even mention his passing, which was an absolute disgrace. So I hope tomorrow Tottenham have something planned for the 20th anniversary of our greatest ever manager. And you know, I think a lot of Tottenham fans will never forget what he did for our club. He was a player from Tottenham, of course. He was gone through the Tottenham academy, played for Spurs, of course, but in the wartime, Second World War. So lost probably the prime footballing of years during the war times. Came back, played in the 49-50 side, the push and run side that won the second division championship. Then he played inside that won the first division championship in 50-51, won back-to-back championships, which I don't think any other Spurs player has done. Then become a trainer, then become an assistant manager, and then in 1958 become the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. First game to be, I think, to beat Everton 10-4 or 10-5 or something like that in his first game in charge. 2 years later, or 3 years later, 1961, Tottenham become the first side in the last century to win the double. And then retained the FA Cup in the following year, won the Cup Winners' Cup the year after that, won another FA Cup in 1967, and then he rebuilt the team again to win 3 trophies in 3 years in a row. 71 the League Cup, 72 the UEFA Cup, 73 the League Cup. And then, of course, he retired in early 74, 75 season. But I think that was because I think the catalyst for that was what happened in Rotterdam in the 74 UEFA Cup final. Then he went away and the club didn't want nothing to do with him. He tried to bring in the manager, Johnny Giles, I think, and forget who the other person was. Danny Blanche found Johnny Giles to take over. The ball went and got Terry Neal, which to this day, I still don't know why they went for an Arsenal man. And then brought Keith Berkshire in. Keith Berkshire brought Bill Nick back into the fold again. And then his fingerprints are all over the 80 side. The side that was successful under Bill Nick, under Keith Berkshire. He scouted a lot of them players. He scouted Graham Roberts. He scouted a lot of them players that made us into winning 2 FA Cups and UEFA Cup. We won 3 trophies in 4 years. We actually did. We between 61, 71, 81, 62 and 82. We won trophies in them 3 decades. The start of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even the start of the 90s. We won a trophy in every start of every decade. And that started from 1940. That started from 1950 to 1991. We won trophies in every decade that we played in. It really was. They always say Spurs always win something when the year ends in the 1. Well, you look back through our history. 51 league champions, 61 double winners, 71 League Cup winners, 81 FA Cup winners, 1991 FA Cup winners, 1921 FA Cup winners, and of course 1901 we won it as a non-league club. So, do you know what I mean? When he joined Tottenham, and that team Bill Nick played in produced one other great manager as well, Sir Alf Ramsey. He was part of that push and run side, and he went on to manage Ipswich, also went on to manage England to win the World Cup in '66. So whatever Arthur Rowe passed on to them 2 players, they went on to be very successful managers in their own right. One at international level, the other at club level. And the one thing about Ange Postecoglou, which I love, there is a link to the Arthur Rowe side, to the push and run side, because it was Puskás who taught Arthur Rowe about push and run. And then when Ange was a player, it was Puskás that was teaching him the push and run. So in one way, Ange coming to Spurs has brought it full circle. And I think we're watching a very modern version of push and run. And we saw that on Sunday against West Ham. We are watching a modern version of the 50-51 side. And Bill Nick did his own sort of version of the push and run side with the double side, with the 60 side, and then with the early 70 side. And Keith Berkshire, I think, in a small way as well, had his sort of push and run side as well. So if you look at Tottenham from the 50s to the 80s, the fingerprints of Bill Nick was always in every successful Tottenham side that won a trophy in them decades. And Look, it doesn't seem like 20 years. I'm sure he's looking down at Tottenham and very played. And if he was alive, what would he have made of Ange? I think he would have loved Ange. I think he would have loved the way Ange plays, and I think Ange gets our DNA. Ange gets the Tottenham way. So I really think Bill Nick would actually tip his head off and actually agree on what Ange is doing. And Ange is very cute in knowing the Spurs history, knowing what Bill Nicholson made. And I'm sure Ange tomorrow night will say to the players, look, it's his anniversary. Let's go out and do a performance in honour of him, and let's do him proud. And I'm sure the players will, and I'm sure the players will be made very aware that it is his anniversary, and we've got to go out and put in a performance for him. And I'm sure he's looking down, and I'm sure he will be smiling down at us tomorrow. Wilton says, I totally agree. There should be a statue of Bill Nick 100%. There should be, and I think it's a disgrace. I know to put the Tottenham clock back up. And I know there's talk about putting the Bill Nick gates back up as well. I don't know where they're going to put them, to be brutally honest. I know there's a bust of Bill Nick, but not everyone can see that bust. And I think every chairman, I think Ivan Scoller failed. I think Alan Sugar definitely failed. And I think Enoch and Levy failed to recognise the man that is Mr. Tottenham. He is Tottenham Hotspur. He is what it is. He is what it's all about. He embodies the name Spurs. He made Tottenham to what we are today. And, you know, for that short period of time in the early 60s, we were the greatest team on earth. We were the Barcelona of the early 60s. No team could match us. No team could beat us. And for him to do the first team to win a double in the last century, the first team to win a European trophy, I think he's also the first manager to win 2 different European trophies. I think he was also the first manager in the last century to win back-to-back FA Cups, if I'm rightly, in a long time. I mean, that man won 3 FA Cups in the 60s alone. In 7 years, he won 3 FA Cups in 7 years. Plus a European trophy, plus a championship. And he won two league championships as a player, 2nd division and 1st division. And the players he brought in, Galzin, that man is not honoured enough, and it really angers me that the club don't do enough in his name to honour him. And that's the thing. This is nothing that really gets my goat. It's the Tottenham Supporters Trust. What are they doing? This is supposed to be up their alley. And what they're doing? Nothing. Sitting on their hands, scratching their nose, and twiddling their thumbs, thinking, "What can we do today?" I tell you what. Let's go and do nothing. The Supporters Trust should be putting pressure on Spurs. There should be a statue of Bill Nick out there. What are you going to do for his anniversary tomorrow? They don't do anything. And look, if anybody for the Supporters Trust is watching, come on. I've emailed them. I've actually had emailed the Supporters Trust to come on. And they won't come on. I mean, what, are we too small for you? We're not good enough for you? We're all Tottenham fans, so we all have a right to know what's going on in our club. You're supposed to be our voice. You're supposed to be our representatives against the board. And you don't seem to be our representatives. You don't seem to be our voice. You seem to be the voice of what you want, not what we want. So when there is somebody like Bill Nick or Jimmy Greaves, or I know the club do a lot behind the scenes that is not really talked about. I know they looked after Jimmy Greaves and his medical bills. I know they do their bit for charities and that. I know that. And look, fair play to the club for doing that. But the Supporters Trust should be saying, look, we need to mark this anniversary. It's 20 years. It's a milestone tomorrow. There needs to be a statue outside the ground. There needs to be somebody for the Bill Nick family there to honour him in something. There should be a stand, the South Stand, the Bill Nick stand. Something has to be done. For Christ's sake, Man United named one of the stands after Alex Ferguson. And he's still alive. And Bill Nick's been passed away for 20 years. It's not even just a Billy Hoot about him. So if anyone is watching by the supporters, Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, would you get your finger out your ass and actually do something? Because I tell you one thing, as long as I'm on this channel and as long as I'm doing YouTube and talking Tottenham on THFC Till I Die, and I'm sure Colin and I'm sure Tequila and I'm sure Carl, who's part of the channel as well, and I'm sure Boris Boris is probably young. He's one of the younger generation, really. So, but I'm sure us older generations, I will not give up until there's a statue of Bill Nick outside the stadium. I'm going to make it a mission of mine to make sure, and I'm going to keep on about this. And I will email the Supporters Trust again. Will one of them like to come on? Because there's a few questions I want to ask them. And I'm going to keep on about this. It has to be done. I mean, if any other club can put statues up of players, why can't we? I hear so much bullshit. I hear so much bullshit, and excuse my language, of we haven't got the room, or there might be vandalized, or there might this, or there might be that. I don't see the Bill Nick, the Sir Matt Busby statue, Alex Ferguson statue being vandalized. They're out there outside the stadium. I don't see the statue of Lord Best and Charlton getting vandalized. I don't see the Alan Shearer statue getting vandalized. And we have a manager that presided over our greatest part of our history, the greatest era of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, and we can't even honour the man. We can't even do that right. And it is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace that we as a football club cannot even honour our greatest ever manager, where any other club can do it. And look, fair play to Man United, fair play to Liverpool, fair play to Leeds, fair play to every club. Even Celtic have statues outside their ground for their place. For me, Newcastle haven't won anything since Moses was a baby. But they have a statue of Sir Bobby Robson outside their stadium and one of Alan Shearer. And we cannot, as a club, put a statue of our greatest ever manager. Oh, don't worry, guys. We'll come up with an idea. We'll put a load of when we build a new stadium, we just name a little area after Bill Nick. So that's good enough. It's not good enough. I think we need to start a petition. We need to do something because something has to be done. And this is where the Supporters Trust comes in. Where are they? Too busy taking the prawn sandwich brigade, eating all the prawn sandwiches. Getting the posh seats. Instead of doing what they're supposed to do, which is being the voice for the fans. And then it's left to channels like mine and other channels like Dave's as well, Hippie Paul, people like that who care about our history, who care about our club, who care about what we've done before, who cherish what we want before. And we're, especially this channel as well, we cherish our history, and we will always cherish our history. We will always make sure that that people know where we're from, what we've done, because you have to. to move forward, to build a successful football club, you have to build off the foundations of the past. That is what your foundations are built on. The glories of the past. To have glories of the future, you've got to build off the glories of the past. And we've had many glorious nights in the past. And we need to build off that. And all I hear is Daniel Levy. And look, I praise him when he does well, and I criticize him when he does bad. And I'm criticizing him on this because he keeps saying, I'm a Spurs fan. I know what it's like to be a Spurs fan. You haven't got a Scooby-Doo what it's like to be a Spurs fan. Because if you had 1 ounce of integrity, 1 ounce of a brain in your head, you'd be sticking a statue outside that stadium with our great seven manager. But you don't. Because we don't do statues. Shake my head in disbelief. Disbelief. Absolutely shocking. Big up to Neil Shafton. You said they got an Alan Shearer in the stadium after the prior interview. Yeah, exactly. Look, Alan Shearer was a great player, but did he win anything? Won Premier League. Yippee. He won that with Blackburn. Didn't win anything with Newcastle, but he gets a statue. Bill Nicholson's our great seven manager. He gets a bust, which, by the way, I think by Alan Sugar wanted to get rid of when he took over the club. Shows what idiot he was. Mind you, he is the man that actually gave Christian Gross a job. Shows what he knew about football. Wilton said Busby, Nicholson, Shankly, Jock Stein. Jock Stein was the other manager. I forgot him. The greatest managers of the era, Cloughy and Fergie. Yeah, absolutely agree with that, Wilton, 100%. Big up Simply Ace. We need to improve defensively if we want to win the trophy. We can't be too open. Our team is it is a long way off of being the Bill Nicks team. But the point I'm making, that we should be inspired by what he done. We should be inspired by what he built. It was always the house that Bill Nick built. And we should never forget that. He laid the foundations for future managers and teams to play off. And some have, some haven't. And look, we're not the greatest team. We are too open at times. And I agree with that. And we do make mistakes and we win games we lose games we shouldn't lose. And we are but too open. But to dare is to do. That's our motto, isn't it? It's always been our motto. To dare is to do. So Ange takes that motto and he takes it in the way that it should be done and the way that Tottenham should play, and he plays the Tottenham way. But you also got to have a bit of a defensive steel as well. And I think it's finding that balance and try to balance that act of either being too gung-ho or being too defensive. You've got to find a happy medium. And, he is getting there. 6 wins out of the last 7 games. He is getting there. He really is, guys. Wilton says, little fact, that's not always mentioned. Bill was the first of our first managers to win the European trophy. Yeah, I think I said that earlier. So that makes Tottenham the first team to... Yeah, it is. And I think we beat Atletico Madrid 5-1 in the 1963 Cup Winners' Cup final. The Dyson final, I think that's called. Terry Dyson got 2. Jimmy Greaves got 2. I forget who got the other one. The greatest night in Tottenham's history to win that Cup Winners' Cup. Big up to Mr. Carl Simpson, Evening Domo, and everyone watching. Come into the YouTube channel and smash that subscribe. Thank you. We are getting there to 2K. We're not far off, guys. We've made a big leap in the last week. As you can see, we're up to 1,922. So my maths has never been the greatest in the world. So I think we're 80 something odd or 79 odd off 2K. I think we can do that before Christmas. Really can. Big up to Dan Davenport as well. Big up Dan. He says, Dermatron. Big up Danny. Hope you're doing well. He says, big up Dermot and Jack. Big up Dan. Carl says 100% Dermo are legends as they're doing. And that not just Bill Nick, the likes of Steve Perryman, Graham Roberts, Glenn Hoddle, even Keith Birkinshaw. All these former managers and players should be well looked after. And they should be cherished, and they should be looked after by the club. And I know the club do an awful lot behind the scenes for the players that fall on hard times. And I know, like, they paid for the Jimmy Greaves medical bills. So they do an awful lot of good behind the scenes. But do you know what I mean? It just gets to me. We don't get a statue. Even name a stand after him. The South Stand, the Sir Bill Nicholson stand. I may always say call the stadium Sir Bill's, the Tottenham Hotspur Bill Nicholson, the Tottenham Bill Nicholson Stadium, or the Sir Bill Nicholson Stadium. Why not? DJ says me as well. If there's only one statue at the stadium, it should be Bill Nick. No doubt. Big up Simply Ace. Carl says, I also have a statue out front of, so Levy rubbish excuse about vandalism doesn't wash. Yeah, it doesn't wash. I mean, they have a statue of Tony Adams. Says a lot, really. The busk of Bill Nick they've got a busk, but I don't know where it is in the new stadium, actually. We should start a protest outside the stadium. I think somebody else is doing that, DJ, but it ain't working very well. I think we've got to come up with a new strategy. I think we have to come up with a new. I tell you what, we start the protest on the channel. There you go. That's what we do. And then we send video. We get Carl to send emails into Daniel Levy if he's watching. If you're watching, evening Daniel. Hope you're doing well. Get that statue up. Carl says we may be too open, but my God, at least we're great. Yeah, exactly. We are. Imagine watching us under Conte, Mourinho, Nuno. I think one game, this is Chew's goal, me and Mr. Brady did the watch along. It was one of our early ones. And somebody mentioned to me the other day, we actually sat and said nothing for 15 minutes. I mean, the match was that boring. We ran out of stuff to talk about. I mean, I think I must have fell asleep during one game live on air. Also, big up to Carl. We made it onto the match reactions. My Basuma celebration got on there. Also, I'm very proud because they had to bleep me. I think I was the only one at the whole. Even Dave Harris gets on them right. He doesn't get bleeped. I'm one who got bleeped. So I don't know if I should be ashamed or proud of that, but I find it quite funny when I watched it. They bleeped me. It was very, very funny indeed. Wilton, I'm in agreement with Ace. If we become more soundly defensive in the back, yeah, I think we all. I think we all agree with that, Wilton, and Simply Ace. I think he makes a very good point that we need to become more sound defensively. But I think that will come when the players understand Angie's system and players understand their work right. And tomorrow night is going to be, I think Palace away is going to be a good example of that. Though Palace are playing quite awful at the moment, so we should win there. But it's coming up against the bigger teams. And we did against Man United. We went away to Old Trafford and came away with a clean sheet. So, do you know what I mean? It can do. Gary Doherty. Oh, Carl. Carl, stop taking the special juice. I put the special juice down. You want a statue of Gary Doherty. Oh, Lord. God help you. Wilton says you only see the bust of Bill Nick if you... Yeah, see, that for me is wrong too. But look, I could do a whole show on that. A whole stream on why that is so wrong to begin with. But I won't bore everyone with it. Big up to Brenny74. Good win last night for you, sir, in the Champions League. Hope you're doing well, sir. and I hope everyone is okay. Big up to Brenny, a legend, along with Bobby as well. And Carl says, big time, made Dermo when you hit the reactions. I know, I was quite shocked we actually made it. So, yes, I've shown you what you want me to do for my next celebration, so I will do that. Yeah, I will do that. And that is it, guys. That is the pre-match show. There really wasn't a lot to go on, really, because we've never played AZ Alkmaar before. It's our first time playing them in any European nation, any European competition. I actually went through every European game we played from 61 up to now, and I couldn't find them. And that took me about an hour to go through every game. So we never played them before. So yeah, I think that's the link for the reaction. So yeah, please, I have seen it, Carl. It's quite funny to bleep me within the first first 15 seconds. I get bleeped. I've never heard, and the tell you who made me laugh out of that was the Korean fella. For me, he is a legend. He really is a legend. He really is. He is so funny. But guys, that was the pre-match. So please do hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button if you can as well. Hit the notification bell again. I tell you, before I go, I will actually go through. This is the predicted lineup, guys. I'm going to leave it up there. And let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you agree. If you don't agree, if you think we should choose somebody else, if you feel that Van der Ven should play and drop Destiny and put Ben Davis as a fullback, or are you quite happy with that back four? And would you put Werner instead of Odegaard? Who would you start there? Moore's going to get a go tomorrow. Are you happy with the midfield three of Bentancur, Bergville, and Papasar? But look, this is just a predicted lineup. We will not know the lineup until an hour before kickoff tomorrow. So, only one that knows who's playing tomorrow is Ange. But I hope you like the new setup as well, guys. This is the way I've been doing. I designed 2 new studios last night and today. The other studio will get its debut tomorrow for the watch-along guys as well. So we've got a new watch-along studio as well. So I'm looking forward to showing that off. But this is the pre-match show studio, guys, for you. It's a bit more work to be done in it, of course, when I put a few more bits and pieces into it. But let me know what you think of the lineup. Please do hit the subscription button. Let's get to 2K before Christmas. Hit the like button, please, if you can. And thank you so much for Sunday's stream. I cannot believe how many views and likes it's got. It means so much to me and the guys here at the channel. It really does, to everyone, to myself, to Tequila, to Colin, to Boris, and to Carl as well. It means a hell of a lot to us for that. And I'm really stoked that it's got so many views. And I'm just really grateful and very humbled by that. So thank you so much indeed. Just a couple of late stragglers before we finish off. Simply Ace says, no statue will go up any of the legend because of NFL and all those musical concerts. Leave these slightly embarrassed by these statues. Yeah, I'm embarrassed because they were successful and he hasn't. That's why he's embarrassed. Big up to John Fitzpatrick, my Irish brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family are doing well down in Limerick. I hope you keep them well, sir. Just coming at the end, so do rewatch it. I hope you like the rewatch. But big up, John. Hope you're doing well, sir, and much love to you and the family. And I hope you keep yourself down there in the lovely county of Limerick as well, which is a lovely part of the world. Wherever you do, guys, do enjoy yourself. Have a great rest of your evening. Tomorrow, we're on at... Actually, I have got the times here, so I have written the times down. So let me just very quickly... Oh, here we go. Right. No, I haven't. I've written the times down for Sunday, but not tomorrow. We're on the Tottenham Talk at 7:15. And then we're on at 7:45 then for the watch long, and then 10:15 we're on for post-match live. So do join us all three. Pick up your memberships as well, guys. If you do pick up your memberships, you get to come on post-match live and join me tomorrow as I bring you the very latest from Tottenham's latest home game in the Europa League. Game 3. Can we go 3 out of 3? I think we can. Whatever you do, enjoy yourselves. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Andrew trust. We're the best team. We will rise. We will win. We are the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.